What's up, ProGuides fam? Welcome back to another Call of Duty ProGuides video. Ever been stuck choosing between all the different perks to run and when you should run them? There are just so many combinations to choose from, which is why today we'll be doing something a little different than our usual guides and instead present you with a full Cold War perk tier list. Let's get it poppin'.
The 5 tiers we have today are as follows. S tier. These are the strongest perks and you can run them into any situation and they will still perform great. A tier. While not as strong as S tier, A tier perks are still reliable and viable alternatives based on the playstyle you are running. B tier. These perks are mostly situational and are usually outshined. However, there are a few specific scenarios where they can be very strong. C tier. Perks in this category are very niche, and even in scenarios where they can be used, may still not be that great of a choice. And lastly, F tier. There's no point in ever really running these perks unless you just have fun using them, as they are pretty bad. Like bad, bro. Like super bad, bro. I don't know though, they're fun. Alright, let's begin by talking about the perks in the Perk 1 slot. This perk slot contains some of the strongest perks in the game, with many of them having a myriad of useful effects. Having said that, some of the perks here have been placed lower on the list, simply because they have to compete directly with the other perks in the first slot. First up on the chopping block, we have a fan favorite in Flak Jacket. Flak Jacket reduces explosive damage you take from all explosives. Whether it be Semtex, C4, frag grenades, rocket launchers, yo baby mama, war machines, or even napalm strikes, Flak Jacket has got you covered. In fact, the only explosive that Flak Jacket cannot save you from are proximity mines, or if you get stuck by a Semtex. Flak Jacket is useful in almost any situation, as pretty much everyone in the game runs an explosive secondary, with only a small minority rocking the combat axe. Running Flak Jacket will keep your mind worry-free from stray nades ruining your kill streaks, and will also probably improve your KD ratio. Without a doubt, an S tier perk. S for saucy. Yes, sir. Extra sauce, please. And no explosions. Thank you. Next up, let's talk about Flak Jacket's younger brother, the Tactical Mask. Tact Mask is honestly a blessing. In games where enemies are spamming concussion grenades and flashes, you will be so happy that you will have a spare class with Tact Mask equipped. Although Tact Mask is great, it is more situational than Flak Jacket. A lot of players love to run Stim Shot or Smokes instead, and in lobbies where there aren't so many stuns and flashes, Tact Mask can sometimes feel like a wasted perk slot. Tact Mask lands itself in A tier, generally useful and sometimes amazing, but may go unused from time to time. It's like your side skill in Needlepoint. Yeah, it's really dope, it helps out a ton, but it doesn't always save the day. Now let's move on to Engineer. Engineer is a pretty useful perk, highlighting annoying equipment and score streaks, such as proximity mines and field comms, even through walls. It also has a cute bonus of letting you re-roll care packages. How cute. For some players whose biggest weakness are proximity mines, then this perk could be your savior. Although it is nice to have, this perk isn't as strong as the previous two and doesn't really have any situations in which it excels. Decent perk, B tier. B for brah, as in brah. What's up with these annoying proximity mines and field comms, dude? Brah, let me get a new care package, brah. B for brah. If you weren't paranoid before, the perk Paranoia really lives up to its name. Imagine walking around in your game when all of a sudden your vision pulses. Oh no, someone spotted you. Or did they? Why am I not being shot at, you wonder? Maybe they didn't actually see me. Or maybe they were too far away and are trying to sneak close. Perhaps they are waiting for me to push. Besides the fact that all this perk is good for is making you paranoid, even if you did notify that you had someone looking at you, you'd probably be dead before you're able to turn, considering how fast the time to kill is in this game. F tier for flippin' lame. Pretty useless perk unless you're a bit masochistic. Last up in slot 1 is Forward Intel. Forward Intel is a perk we haven't really seen before. What it does is it expands your minimap so that you are able to see enemies from further away. This could be useful when combined with spy planes or the harp to allow you to pinpoint enemies that are normally out of range from the regular minimap. Forward Intel also has a secondary effect that notifies you which direction enemies are spawning from. In public lobbies, this can be very useful as your teammates can sometimes mess up the spawns without your knowledge, and then all of a sudden you are getting shot at from behind. It can also be used to help you learn the spawns better if you're still unfamiliar with them. All in all, forward intel is good for beginners, but should be replaced once you become better at tracking spawns. C tier. C as in chillin', pretty chillin', that's cool. Now, let's take a small break to discuss this video's question of the day. Today's question is, what Call of Duty perk system is your favorite? Personally, I'm a huge Black Ops 2 fan and really enjoyed their Pick 10 system. Cold War has a similar sort of thing going on, but overall, I still prefer how Black Ops 2 did it. Let us know your favorite in the comments down below. But back to the action. Moving on to perks in the second slot, first up, we have the Assassin's Perk. As cool as the name of the perk sounds, sadly, it doesn't quite live up to the name. The Assassin's Perk basically gives you extra score for killing players on kill streaks. The amount of score given depends on how large the streak was when you ended it. This perk is okay for pubs, and that's basically it. C tier. C for chill with that kill streak, bro. Chill, 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 chill. The second perk from slot 2 is Gearhead. Now, Gearhead can either be an amazing perk or a garbage perk. Straight trash, dude, depending on what game mode you're playing in. In Hardpoint or Domination, having an extra trophy system available and on a lower cooldown can be a godsend. However, in modes such as TDM, FFA, Kill Confirmed, or SND, this perk is pretty underwhelming. If you play COD competitively, then this is definitely the perk you want to be running in your second slot. If you're more of a casual player, then you can skip this one if you'd like. Overall, A tier. A for aw yeah. Oh yeah, bro. Thanks for the trophy system, dog. Oh yeah. Next, we have another mainstay perk in Scavenger. For newer players out there, having Scavenger on basically means that you will never run out of ammo. For most players, this will be a pretty useless perk, and I recommend that you just skip over it. However, if you're consistently dropping high kill games and don't die very often, this perk is great because it will protect you from having to be forced to swap your weapon once you run out of ammo. C tier, since the majority of players are better off with something else. Oh yeah, and C stands for, see that ammo over there? Yeah, I'm gonna take that. Thank you very much. Following is the Quartermaster perk. A pretty basic perk, Quartermaster recharges your equipment over 25 seconds. This perk is pretty good in objective-based game modes, but can be awkward to make full use out of it. Having an extra lethal and tactical can be very strong. The only issue is that 25 seconds is a long time to wait in a game like Call of Duty. Not to mention that this perk gets countered by trophy systems, which is very commonly run in competitive setups. B tier perk. B as in basic, dude. Because, I mean, it's pretty basic. Moving on to the last perk in slot 2 leads to Tracker. Tracker lets you see enemy footsteps and highlights enemies you see on the map for teammates. Completely useless competitively because callouts are often far superior. In casuals, this perk can be fun to play with, but it still won't be doing very much for you. In fact, trying to follow footprints around can get you killed more often than getting you a kill. Can be fun to run, but ultimately it's an F tier perk. F for footsteps, because I mean, it's footsteps, dude. Of course, it's gonna be F. The perk 3 slot contains a lot of perks that directly affect your playstyle. Gung Ho is first on the list, and it comes with a bundle of effects, which includes less fall damage, better sliding accuracy, faster weapon swaps, moving faster while reloading, and shooting using equipment while running. In small maps, this perk is awesome. You'll benefit most from being able to reload while walking at full speed and will be able to finesse some kills that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get. In larger maps though, the lack of any stealth will hurt. Since this perk is more geared towards SMGs, their ability to flank undetected will be affected as well. Also, many of Gung Ho's other effects aren't very useful. B tier perk. Gung Ho is pretty decent, but there are better perks out there. B is for Bonanzas, because Bonanzas, I'm running out of names for all these perk lists. Okay, anyway. The ultimate pub perk finally makes its appearance. That's right, it is Ghost. Ghost prevents you from being detected by enemy spy planes while moving, planting defusing, or controlling score streaks. With the new score streak system, it is nearly impossible for there not to be multiple spy planes in every game. Nothing is worse than successfully getting into a flank position and then hearing the dreaded spy planes being called in and immediately losing the advantage you worked to gain. Oh god, what is that sound? Oh, it's the spy plane. Run for cover. Ghost stops that situation and is one of the best perks available if you are going for kill streaks or if you intend to push into enemy territory. However, that being said, it is quite useless in competitive. Nevertheless, Ghost remains an S tier perk and should be run often. S for so dope. So dope, so dope, so dope, so dope. Third is a very underrated perk in Cold-Blooded. Cold-Blooded stops score streaks from targeting you, makes you show up cold in thermal sights, and makes you immune to flashlight attachments. Having a Cold-Blooded class to swap to when the enemy is raining down score streaks can save you from many unnecessary deaths. Furthermore, sometimes you will see opponents running the smoke grenade and thermal combo, and that can be very annoying to deal with unless you have Cold-Blooded equipped. And lastly, which I believe is the most overlooked part of this perk, is its ability to stop flashlight attachments from exposing you. Oh god, I'm exposed! Oh wait a minute, I got Cold-Blooded on. A lot of players in Cold War actually have a hard time spotting opponents without their flashlight bonus. This perk will definitely save your life a few times and you won't even realize that it did. B tier perk. Cold-Blooded is situational but can be extremely useful in certain games. B for blood, because cold-blooded, dude. F was footsteps, B is blood. All right, you've heard it here. Also, side note, many people don't know this, but cold-blooded actually protects you from all vampire damage in Call of Duty. Which isn't really useful because there aren't any vampires, but you don't know when Edward Cullen might show up. Be prepared, get cold-blooded. Sneaking its way into the next spot is the Ninja perk. Ninja reduces noise you make from running, sprinting, crouch walking, and ADS shuffling by a considerable amount. Footsteps can be heard from pretty far away in Cold War, and Ninja cuts down that distance. Ninja can be used in almost any game mode, and it will never be a bad choice. If you're in higher skilled lobbies, then it will be even more useful, as almost everyone will have a decent headset and will hear you if you don't have Ninja. Very solid perk, A tier. A for apples, cause I love apples. Now landing in as the last perk in the Cold War is Spycraft. Warcraft? No, Spycraft, bro, come on. This perk basically makes you the king of traps and field upgrades. You can hack any field upgrade and are immune to counter spy planes, jammers, field mics, tracker, and paranoia. You also won't trigger proximity or gas mines and can booby trap care packages. Booby trap, a funny word. Although those are a lot of effects, sadly most of them tend to be quite useless. The immunity from counter spy planes and field upgrades are actually pretty nifty. However, no one uses tracker or paranoia, and you will hardly ever get any usage off being able to booby trap care packages, even though it's a funny word. If you absolutely hate field upgrades, and those are what are causing most of your deaths, then run this perk. Otherwise, for the majority of players, Spycraft is underwhelming. C tier. And what does C stand for? Well, let me tell ya. She sells seashells by the seashore. All right, who is she? Why is she by the shore? And where can I get these shells, man? I've been looking all over Amazon. I have not found them. But that being said, let's take it to the outro.
And there you have it. That's it for our official Cold War perks tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and be sure to let us know down below whether you agree or disagree with our opinions. Thank you all for watching, and remember to like and subscribe. It helps out so much. We're trying to get this channel popping, so let's do it, y'all. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.